representing the wonderful people of Owan Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, the issue at hand is much more fundamental. Much more. First, from the lead debate, the title here is clearly a document from the far right designed to suffocate civil society, domesticate it, and incorporate it into the vortex of exploitation, domination, and oppression. From the other paper, it is pretentious in terms of saying to strengthening their capacities to promote democracy and development in the country. For God's sake, where has the author of this document been? This democracy we are sitting here enjoying today, was it brought by the military? It was brought by civil society organizations. They spent their monies, they put their lives on the line, and many of us spent decades in exile, couldn't enter this country. So the difference in the two documents shows that on the one hand here, it is making a false claim to democratization and democracy, while on the real document, it is talking about straightforward regulation. Now the questions are, Mr. Speaker, what is civil society? There is a differentiation between the state and civil society in every country, in everywhere in the world. The state represents a different force, both in structure, in composition, and action. Civil society represents a different force. I admit, in civil society, there is what we call uncivil civil society. Technically, armed robbers are part of civil society. The churches and mosques you mentioned are not part of the state, they're part of civil society. Market women associations, students' unions, trade unions are part of civil society. And there is no serious civil society organization in Nigeria that is not registered. They have a constitution, they have most association, and their registration documents includes articles on what happens to the assets. Mr. Speaker, I spent decades working for the Ford Foundation. I made grants, over 200 grants in this country. I set up institutions that are still in existence. Not one of those organizations failed to present a constitution. No serious granting agency will give a grant to an organization that is not registered and that does not present an annual report and that does not subject itself to periodic democratic election in legitimating its leadership. Mr. Speaker, give me 2 more minutes to look into. So the claim on page 1 that many of them are not incorporated under the law or any other law, it's not true. It talks about monitoring and regulating. Civil society is the sphere of freedom, of liberties, of originality, of creativity, of individual expression, of communal expression. It is not under government. You don't advertise it, employ them, pay their salaries, promote them, demote them, and give them leave. No. That is why it is called civil society. 2, on the second page, Mr. Speaker, the entire lead debate is filled with an effort to cast aspersion. Do you say because you saw a pastor who stole a pot of rice or who defied a 4-year-old girl, because of that you condemn Christianity? No. Do we say because some public servants have been found to have stolen money, because of that all civil servants are evil and we should abolish the civil service? So when you begin to present a document to this House and say things like they are not open to public scrutiny and accountability, who told you that? It is not true. The Center for Democracy and Development, for example, is one of the best organized and run civil society organizations in this country. Dr. Kayode Fayemi, governor of Ekiti, was my grantee for many years. And they have all these things we are talking about. Committee for Defense of Human Rights was run by Femi Falana. MBA is part of civil society. Mr. Speaker, I want to say, when you say you want to curb fraud and misuse of financial donations, how exactly are you going to do that? And it goes on to say that they get donors' money and convert it to personal use. Those are the kind of views people think about civil society, who do not understand the role, the composition, the impact, and the necessity in a democracy. Finally, Mr. Speaker, I want him to tell me which civil society, which donor agency has blacklisted Nigeria. Ford Foundation is here. MacArthur Foundation is here. Henry Bolt Foundation is here. Even the UN agencies, the funders, they're all here. Osiwa is here, Biggest Foundation is here. Which one has blacklisted Nigeria? These are the kind of rumors people carry about civil society to give them a bad name so they can come up with this kind of bill to regulate. They think most of them are billionaires. They are not. I can tell you this. Then when you say there are no operational guides and standards, again, it is not true, sir. My view, Mr. Speaker, is that if this passes through this House, we would have dealt a very heavy and unfortunate blow to the whole process of democratization. Everyone can fight for democracy, but the process of deepening the process to put the people in their communities and constituencies on the driver's seat of deciding the content and context of our politics rests with civil society. Our job here, as captured in our legislative agenda, is to help build civil society, not to kill it. And to say that assets are taken over family, that is an infantile argument. If it is Uzeba People's Association that's helped Amoye, and the chairman dies and the daughter takes it, I will understand what you're talking about. But when you attribute that kind of unfortunate labeling to serious organizations in this country, you are doing civil society a disservice. And I think this bill should be stepped down in the interest of democracy and justice and should not go beyond the second reading. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.